This is Reverend Harris. I'm here in Vallejo, California, and I've had the honor to meet two wonderful people here and listening to their stories. Our sisters from Alabama, and my brother to my left in the red shirt drinking the water. And you can tell he's getting ready. He's getting ready to go. He got some stories to tell us. And he's from Mississippi. And you know, what I thought about Mississippi was that that's where Megan Everts was at, getting folks to register to vote in Mississippi, is where he was shot and murdered. And so, can whoever want to go first, can you just state me your name and kind of like where you're from and your hometown and a little bit about where you're from?
I'm Annie Ryan Lofton, and I'm originally from a little place in Alabama called Bolige, B-O-L-I-G-E. That's where I was born and raised by my grandmother and 4 siblings. And
Now, what was the name of your grandmother and grandpa?
my grandmother was Annie Bell Dunlap,
Okay.
and she raised me and my sister and my 3 brothers.
Okay. And what year was she born in?
I can't remember the year she was born, but she's been dead for some years now.
Okay.
And so I don't remember, but she was like 81 when she died some
Wow.
years ago, over 10 years ago.
Okay.
20 years ago, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I left, she died while I was out here. I came out here to California in 64. So
Okay.
she died since I've been out here.
Okay. And so you were explaining to me about Alabama. I never met anyone from Alabama, and we were just talking talking a little bit about some of your childhood coming up. And I had asked you, did you ever witness the signs of coloreds can't drink out of this water fountain? And you told me you did, and I was like, wow. And can you kind of elaborate on how the racism was back then for segregation?
Well, I was born into it. So it wasn't, to me, it was a way of life. I did not have a problem with it. It was just a way of life. The colored had their schools, the white had their schools. At the restaurant, the colored had their sides. The door that they would go in, the white had their side. And like I was saying, my grandmother worked for a white family that owned the restaurant. She was a cook in it. And yet when we came to the restaurant, we had to go in our door. Mm-hmm. And the whites went in their door. So, and my grandmother washed clothes for white people, where we helped her wash and iron the white people clothes. So they had their, like I said, their schools. In their area, we had our schools. And because I was born into that, to me it wasn't a problem. Mm-hmm. You know, even though we know, how we were separated. But it wasn't a problem because that was a way of life.
Okay. And did you have to walk to school? Did you have school buses? How did you get to school?
We had school buses, but if you missed the school bus, you had to walk to school, which might have been 3 miles or more. So we did have a school bus, but a lot of children, depending on what area of town you lived in, the school bus might didn't go that far. So you would have to walk sometime. But like I said, even in going to having the school bus, if we missed the school bus, we couldn't go back home and say we missed the school bus. We had to walk to school.
Okay. Okay. And during that time of you didn't the white children didn't play with the black children, or did you have a white teacher during that time?
No, because we had our own school, which was all black, in one area with our black teacher, and the white had their own school in their area with whomever. I never went and saw inside of a white school.
Now, what year was this? You remember what year?
This was in the early 60s.
Early 60s, okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So you remember Dr. King back then?
I remember him.
Right.
I remember his assassination because that was a little before I came out here, I believe, because I came out here in 64.
To California?
To California.
Okay, okay.
So
okay.
I just know about him,
Okay.
and his work, but...
Okay. And so you've seen the signs that says black colored. Did it say black or did it say colors?
Color.
Colors.
Colors.
That was a reference to black.
That's right.
Okay, so you had your water fountain, the whites had their water fountain. You know, also the bathrooms, right?
Yes, we was separated. We like even in the town we lived in, we had our side of the town that we lived on, and they had theirs, and you didn't interact. You didn't go into their section.
Wow. Now
Yeah, we was completely separated.
Now, did the railroad track divide the two cities? Or maybe just
not necessarily, because it depends on where you live.
Okay.
You know, like where I lived,
right.
in the section town that I lived in, the little city that I lived in, our house was right next to a railroad track.
Okay.
But then say, up kind of on the hill away from us, that was in that area.
Okay.
By the main freeway, that was like one white house, a house that white folks live. Okay. You know, but you didn't interact with them. They mainly lived on a certain section in town. Okay. And you lived in your section, and a lot of the blacks maybe lived out in the kind of the wilderness, woods. Okay. You know, out in, because country, it was country. Right. So they had their fields where they lived on their fields out from town, and I lived in you know, close to the stores and where I lived.
Now, did you ever see like any KKK with sheets on, or any lynching or murders, or any stories that ever told to you about that from your grandparents? Or
I heard of many. The KKKs, as far as I can remember, were more or less. I heard about them being like in Mississippi, where people were blacks were hung or put in the Mississippi River because they looked at maybe a black guy looked at a white woman. Wow. In that respect, I heard a lot about that, but not so much as where I lived. Okay. In the little town that I lived in.
And what town did you live in?
The little town I lived in was called Boligee, Boligee. Okay. Which a lot of people might not. Real close to Mobile, Alabama. Right. Bessemer, Birmingham, but a very small town. Right.
And so you were telling me earlier about the children, how the children used to be able to. You was telling me that what the Bible says, train up a child in the way it should go, and when they get older, they won't depart. But today it seems like that it used to be an old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Yes. Do you see that happening today? And what is your experience with from back then when families, black folks, used to really care about, not to say they don't care today, but we're really into raising family collectively? But today it's like everyone is just concerned about theirs or not concerned about yours. And then when you chastise a child, then the child at age 4, 5, 6 cuss you out, and then but it used to get a whooping on the spot, and then when you got home you got another whooping. So what happened to that?
Well, my belief, and this is just me, I believe that we have failed as parents to obey the Bible. I believe if you do what the Bible say, as far as train up a child in the way it should go, when he's old, won't depart, if we do that from the beginning, right, you know, then you're training that child the way he should go. So it's not to say that as he get older or an adult, you're not going to stray from that, but he's going to come back to it. But you can't wait. You can't wait till a child get up to be half grown, and try to tell the child what he or she is to do. And so you didn't have as many problems like when I was coming up, when we were raised by my grandmother. You know, you did what they told you what to do, and they didn't have to give you an explanation.
Well, kids today want you to explain to them. When you tell them to close the door, they say why or what. And I can't understand a kid today saying what to a grown. You ever hear that today? The young child say what you want.
They're not being trained. The parents, the guardians, or whoever is allowing them to do that because to them they think it's a cute thing. Right. They think the child, because of their freedom, they have a right to be given an explanation. Right. You know, but the Bible didn't tell me to do that. You know, because children don't know. Right. They don't know some of the things that they want to get involved in is harmful to them.
Right.
You know, some
Okay.
children today don't feel like you don't know. It's not you're not living in today. You know, you're not going to school. You know, that was in the old day. A lot of young children say, young people say today, that was in
Right.
that's old fogey stuff.
Okay.
You know, but I feel like if it worked for me then with my grandmother training me, I had no problem training my children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so it's good for children today. But parents, guardians are failing to do their job. They don't, you know.
It seemed like today, even in Fresno, where I come from, it seems like, and then we're gonna go to our brother here, that that the police could come in your door right now, and order everyone in your house what to do. They're not the man of the house or the woman of the house, and they can tell the woman where to sit, where to go. They can tell the man where to go, where to sit, tell the child. And it's like because they come in here with a badge and a gun, that they are the authority figure of your home, right? But
Yeah.
but here you are in the home, right? And your children will listen to a cop. Not saying your children, but situations I've seen will listen to a cop faster than they would listen to their own parents.
Well, you know, to me, the law is the law.
Right,
You know, the law is supposed to be to protect the people.
right,
And so there is laws that rule the land today.
right,
And to a certain degree, we have to be obedient to those laws
right.
that rule the land. You know,
Okay.
not all the time. Not saying that they're always right, but just think if the land didn't have police officers,
Mm-hmm.
what would the world be like? Not
Mm-hmm.
saying that it's always right, but we are to obey the laws of the land
Right, right, right,
as citizens.
right, right. Well, I tell you, you have a lot of good history, and I really appreciate your comments, and I know our brother to the left here, he I know he got both barrels ready to unload, and I know he's gonna shoot with some hollow points. Go out, come in small, go out big. So, sir, can you introduce yourself to us and let us know?
Oh, brother. Now, I have serious illnesses. And right now, I don't feel very well.
Okay.
And I don't care to, get into that. And I know you'll be back through again. The next time I might be feeling better.
Okay.
But right now, I'm gonna go in and lay down and recuperate
Okay.
because I got problems with my neck, pain, just all over.
Okay.
My knees, my wife know that, so
Right.
I hope you understand.
I do.
It's nothing personal,
I do.
okay?
I appreciate
And
you.
it was my pleasure meeting you.
All right.
And so
All right.
I will see you the next time.
Thank you, sir.
You want to go lay down for that?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay.
He needs something for his neck, Annie.
I'm ready for the medicine.
Well, if you want to.